Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Glass Unlimited event for August 2022. I'm happy to be here with you. This is one of our most special events for the Glass Unlimited series, celebrating the International Year of Glass 2022. We will be starting shortly. We just wait a few minutes for a few more people to join. Just probably we'll start about 10:05. And, we'll get this show on the road. While we're doing that, we would have a few minutes to have a few introductions about the event, the speakers, and everyone else that is involved. I am Adeolu Okulaja. I'm the chair of Alkaline Beehive Design Foundation. We are the ones, the foundation designated to coordinate the International Year of Glass. It's been a very, very important role for us. And we know that at the end of the day, everything about the celebration will be very successful. ABDF, as we are known now, is an internationally focused non-governmental organization. We're focused on energy management in buildings, housing development, sustainable energy technology applications, environmental management, science and innovation education. Our mission is to mainstream innovation in the propagation of sustainable development practices, while providing guidance, training, and solutions for all stakeholders. Our vision is to raise environmental leaders in every community of every country in the world. Founded in 2021, ABDF is committed to the following in respect of the United Nations International Year of Glass 2022 celebration: to use glass as a crucial material and to explore the possibilities across all industries and disciplines, to ensure glass is the preferred material for packaging of food and beverages, to highlight the importance of glass in automotive transportation, to give a clear insight into this key element in building and architecture, to show that glass is an integral component of the building and the renewable energy distribution systems in Nigeria, to see that glass is an essential carrier of communicative devices, and to explore the prospects for the propagation of these systems, to show glass as a critical component in pharmaceuticals, health, and the science industry for storage and dispensing and processing of drugs, and also to ensure that glass as a material that can be described as unlimited has a lot of applications that are constantly changing and evolving when it is used in a combination with other materials. As we continue our journey in this International Year of Glass celebration, I want to give a recognition to the local organizing committee of the University of Lagos, all protocols observed. And I'd also like to share with you a message from the United Nations, which I will post in the chat group. We can all look at this video later on in the session. And I know that this would really enrich your information about what we're celebrating as the International Year of Glass. So without much ado, I would like to go into the introductions. I'm not sure whether we have our Dean of Environmental Sciences, University of Lagos, present. But if she is not, we will quickly go on to the other introductions which you have. We have our first speaker, which is Mr. Olamide Ogunlola. He's the director of COSTECH. And we also have Dr. David Adio-Moses. He's a lecturer at the University of Lagos. We have a special guest also in the person of Ms. Emma Douglas. She's the Business Development Manager of Advanced Glass Technology, AGT. These individuals will be sharing their knowledge and their passion for glass, and specifically on the topic of the day, which is smart glass and green energy. This is a Glass Unlimited workshop, and we'll be kicking off with the first presentation by Mr. Olamide Ogunlola. Mr. Olamide Ogunlola, please acknowledge your presence. Mr. Ogunlola.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good.
And sorry, before we go into your presentation, could Dr. David Adio-Moses and also Ms. Douglas, can they please acknowledge their presence as well?
Good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. David. Okay, let me put on the video. I'm Dr. David Adio-Moses, and I'm pleased to be here, and we look forward to an enlightening program. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Emma Douglas here on behalf of AGT Glass. I'm delighted to be a part of this forum and pleased to meet everyone.
Thank you so much for that. So over to you, Mr. Olamide.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here. Like it was said, my name is Olamide Ogunlola, Director of COSTECH. A little bit about COSTECH. It's an ICT company, and we are more into consulting services, implementation of software solutions for smart and sustainable designs and projects, as you can see, which involves advanced technologies such as BIM, additive manufacturing, and also digital transformation solutions. Our solutions cuts across project management, enterprise project management portfolio, and so on and so forth. So our principal partners are Autodesk, makers of softwares like AutoCAD, Revit, so on and so forth, Oracle, Trimble. Some of the services which we provide also includes the trainings and partnership collaborations with universities like Unilag and so on and so forth. Implementation partners as well. A little bit about our locations. We are based in London, Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. So you can email me, or if you probably want more information, my email is olamide.o@costechcomputers.com.ng, or you can catch me on the social media, olamide.ogunlola. That's a little bit about myself. So let's quickly dive into the program. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to drop in questions on the chats. I'll respond to them after my presentation. And then, of course, we still have the Q&A session also. So I welcome everyone to this event once again. So like I said, so let's go into the definition of green energy. Green energy is a practice of creating, or is the process at which we have environmentally responsible and resource efficient throughout the building life cycle. The life cycle of projects, like we know, it's from the initiation siting, the design, to the construction, operation or maintenance of the buildings or projects, as the case may be, renovations and the construction. So as we see, we have maybe buildings and the process of constructing them, which automatically accounts for about 30% of total global energy use. This isn't necessarily a backmark on construction, though. In fact, it highlights a great opportunity for industry to take positive changes. It is an opportunity that many of the construction industry have noted and are acting on. So green building, green energy is no longer just a trend now. It is a revolution where any professional in the built environment that ignores this is at risk of getting left behind. So you will have been able to see that green construction refers to optimizing building processes to minimize the negative impacts, which we'll be looking at shortly. I'll talk about some of these impacts and then we'll do a quick deep dive into how they affect human sustainability and then the health of citizens. This doesn't end when construction wraps up. Proper planning and design can help a structure qualify as green while it's used and even during the eventual demolition of the structure. So I would like to look at the impacts of built on the environment. If you look at the energy used in the heat and power of our buildings, which leads to consumption of large amounts of energy, mainly those from fossil fuels, maybe like our generating sets or the equipment that are being used, natural gas or coal. This generates significant amount of carbon dioxide, the most widespread green gas. So you have buildings contribute 38.1% of the nation's total carbon dioxide emissions. So if you look at it, you see direct destruction of ecosystem due to mining, maybe mining projects and other techniques, extracting raw materials. We have some impact from waste, water and air pollution and high energies which are required for building materials manufacturing. You can see that we have about 5 to 8% of global CO2 emissions coming out from cement production alone. So reducing the energy or the use of this energy and greenhouse gas emissions produced during these buildings, therefore, are fundamental to the efforts to slow the pace of global climate change. So buildings may be associated with release of greenhouse gases in other ways, for example, construction, demolition, the debris and the degrades from the landfills, which generates a lot of methane, and the extraction of manufacturing of building materials, which also create, this always generates these greenhouse gas emissions. So if you look at more impacts that we have there, we have from the air pollution through the heavy machinery or diesel, the high levels of carbon dioxide emissions from materials and equipment during transportation on long distances. Then we have spillage when it comes to oil and gas projects from the oil rigs, the accidents that usually happens, which contaminates the soil, water, and also the air from the toxic chemicals. You would have been able to see that these issues threaten the bottom line of every part of the supply chain. Building material manufacturers who reduce waste don't just help the environment, they also are likely to see increase in profit. So production of glass is very, very essential here, where you have to the last scrap of the raw materials. In terms of energy, buildings account for about 39.4% of total Nigerian energy consumption and 67.9% of total Nigerian electricity consumption in 2002. So you will have seen that building occupants use about 12.2% of total water consumed in Nigeria per day. Buildings and transportation infrastructure that serves them replace natural surfaces with impermeable materials, creating runoff that washes pollutants and sediments of the surfaces. To have a retrospect or an overview of this impact, I've been able to break it down into a similar, very simple table here. You'll have been able to see that on the aspect of built environment, I mean, the total life cycle of a project, you have from the conceptual stage or siting, design, construction, operation or maintenance, the revision or the construction. These are the aspects of the built environment. Then the consumption, the energy we consume, water, materials, natural resources. Then the environmental effects, that is the water, air pollution, water pollution, indoor pollution, heat island, stormwater runoff, and the noise pollution itself. The effects these have on the people is the harm to our human health, the environment degradation, and also the loss of resources. You'll have been able to see that green energy should be able to reduce the overall impact on the built environment, on human health, and the natural environment by, number one, is efficiently using energy, water, and other resources, and also protecting the occupant's health and improving employee productivity. Sustainability is key, producing energy while also reducing the waste and pollution the environmental has on the health of the citizens. So what are the causes? What actually creates this pressure? You'll have been able to see that client requirements, people are now requiring, the industry now trends is now going more complex buildings, and probably these complex buildings require more energy, more emissions from fossil fuels and all those materials, degradations from the heavy equipment. We can see market demand. Market demand, people are moving from the rural areas, moving to the urban cities to search of greener pastures and all that. So the population growth is booming. So we have project schedules and circles. Project schedules are becoming tighter, and then everybody's trying to catch up, and then increasing the energy use. Competition between states, countries, municipalities, and all that. Everybody's trying to build up smart cities and all that. So it's increasing the pressures that we have in the industry. So I'd like to also touch on the essential components of this green energy. There are hundreds of methods that make construction more environmentally friendly, which can be summed up into what I have here is about 6 of them. Number one is energy efficiency, reduction of waste, low impact building materials, indoor air quality, site impacts, water use, and all that. So I'll just do a brief deep dive on each one of these. Under the energy efficiency, we have structures built with green methods require less energy during construction and during occupation. Layout adjustments, insulation amounts, land siting alignments, even the color of the exterior materials, all these improve the energy efficiency on a particular project. Number 2 is the reduction of waste. With better planning, you can reduce all this, but at conceptual stage, you have well-planned, and during construction, you can generate practically no waste materials at all throughout the life cycle of the project. Number 3, we have low impact building materials, on-site waste reduction directive matched with use of building materials that produce less waste during manufacturing, significantly reduces the impact of construction. Not all these low impact building materials are new and unfamiliar. For instance, glass is very, very key here. So for indoor air quality, careful material selection does more than just reduce waste and improves the profit margins of the project. So with more of this, we have the site impact, which gives us the placement on structure of the site with glass, which can impact the can help you optimize and take advantage of natural light and passive heating and cooling. So when you have like all HVAC designs and all that, you can carefully siting and saving existing trees. Doesn't just enrich the local environment, it can also keep the building cooler thanks to shading. Then we also look at the water use, minimizing water wastage and controlling the excess water outside the building can be achieved with green construction techniques. Buildings use about 14% of potable water consumed globally, but a few small adjustments can be made in big differences in save drinking water for more important use than flushing and wasting water all the time. So with proper planning, we can see that we will be able to go green, and this cannot be far-fetched. So from that, I've been able to put together what we have as the best practices. How can we best practice or ways we can save energy or have green energy during construction? So this has to do with a lot of commitments to embracing green construction practices. In order to get good results and attract new environmentally minded clients, construction firms or project managers can need to follow the best practices for implementing of green construction concepts. Here are some of the best practices that help regardless of the size of the business or sector of the industry which they serve. So number one is going green internally. That's maybe during your own practice, internally, you embark on a project which are paperless. Everything is, you go digital and then try to be very, very energy efficient. And then also saving energy, maybe lighting in the office, try to use energy efficient lighting, then low flow water fixtures, like smart faucets and all that. Going green internally demonstrate the construction firm's commitment to process goes beyond just the lip service. Then we also have staying on top of local and global development. So we can have to designate a team within the firm that will be responsible of tracking the latest development globally and determining which are the right techniques for the company. Maybe like a small research department in the organization where you can also be doing little research and see what is obtainable globally. If an entire team of the green specialists is impracticable, then we can look at finding at least one member of the team or the department who can be determined to green construction and bring innovations that the organization can embrace. So number three, we should look at also choosing the right rating system. So this involves when firms that are still expanding into green energy, green construction, green building, they should start with popular rating system or design modality and build their familiarity with it, which involves new ones. So there's a lot of innovations coming. Globally, we have the body which regulates it, which is the LEED. That is the Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, which is one of the most popular green building evaluation systems. They have over 90,000 commercial buildings participating in this program as of 2018. And it's a good starting point for any organization who wants to go green for most firms. So also investing in training is also key, where organizations who use heavy equipment, they invest in equipment, technology and all that, but fail to invest in capacity building, where we'll be able to bring in your staff, train them properly. So they often require hundreds and thousands of small adjustments so that they can be able to help you achieve your goals you know, I mean, what is the worth of having to invest so much in equipment, in the buildings, infrastructure, without even investing a dime on training? So the advantages of investing on training of or capacity building of staff cannot be overemphasized. So you can simply specify the use of new methods and not training workers on them will only lead to a low rate of adoption. So, and the return to familiar work process. So when there are new innovations, you find out that people will just still go back and start going back to their old ways of doing things. And they definitely, you won't see that productivity, you won't be able to see that efficiency because of the lack of capacity building trainings. So all the design improvements in the world can make a structure green if the workers constructing it are failing to follow the normal and simple specifications due to lack of belief in its value. So, I mean, during implementation of this, we need to always consider investing in training of the staff. And then number 5, I'm looking at the embracing construction technology. You can't do without technology. So technology brings about methodologies which increases efficiency and also be able to help you take care of complexity. Like the companies that we represent, like Autodesk, Oracle, there are loads of different applications which enables you to be more efficient, and then of course to help you go green throughout the life cycle of your projects. There are applications like Plan Grid, BIM, Scan to BIM, so on and so forth, which offer seamless sharing of latest drawings and plans. So if you look at BIM 360, for instance, it helps you to do designs even remotely, which enables you connect between your office and the field. So now everybody from the project manager, from the top down to individuals who work on the same project can stay abreast with the project information at any time, including green techniques currently in use on the project. Modeling software is also essential for creating designs and also building plans that perform as promised, even after the construction wraps up. So it's throughout the life cycle of the project, technology can always assist you. So with that is now, then let's look at the future of green building or green energy. Where does the future lie and what's optimal out there? So we'll be able to see that even in the global market, the green construction or green energy is projected to reach about $364 billion as of today. Not only will demand for this kind of low impact building grow over 25 years, it is also changing dramatically. Looking ahead into the future of green will help consultants, AEC professionals, and architects, engineers, energy professionals also, and construction firms plan their next move. So by the time you start embracing technology, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be able to see that we'll be able to analyze, design, and even plan, do project management, even at today's green construction. But future building techniques will rely on data. So big data, I mean. So if there's no data or you are still doing data manually or paperwork and all that, it will be a little bit difficult for you to go green. So within 25 years, every new construction project will begin with the sampling of data, showing everything from the projected impact on surrounding to structures to the latest demands and expected the occupants' demands or requests. So embracing data is likely to streamline the green construction processes in ways that are impossible to imagine yesterday. So it has gone beyond just what we are looking at right now, but we are moving into things like IoT, Internet of Things, BIM, and so on and so forth. So you'll be able to see that we have integrated project delivery, where we can make urban environment more responsive to the needs of even the residents, the occupants, or the users of the projects themselves. So I think on my next slide, I would like to show you a video. Please, moderator, please can you confirm if you can hear the sound from this? Are you able to hear the sound?
By 2050, the United Nations predicts the number of people on the planet will grow from roughly 7.5 billion today to nearly 10.
Yes, we can hear the sound.
You can hear it. Oh, sorry about
yes,
that.
Please play it again.
Oh, okay. Somebody's
As urban centres develop to accommodate the growing population, they will need more buildings for businesses and services. Globally, urban areas will need to construct more than 13,000 buildings daily on average to keep up with demand. The move to urban areas over the next few decades will impact how people live, as well as the number of homes needed. Between 2018 and 2050, multi-family housing will comprise more than half the daily average of residential buildings constructed per day, close to 10,000. The migration to urban areas necessitates supporting infrastructure. Annually, we need to construct nearly 150,000 miles of urban road and more than 500,000 miles of road in rural areas each year. Combined, this is enough road to wrap around the globe 30 times. So how can the industry help us grow our cities and communities with the least environmental impact? It has been estimated that 30 to 80% of building energy consumption can be reduced using proven and available technology. The AEC industry must fundamentally rethink how it designs, constructs, and operates the built environment. It will take a concerted effort that includes smart city planning, advanced technology, and a commitment to do things sustainably to accommodate our growing, increasingly urban population while preserving precious resources. The good news is, we have the tools that can get you started on this path today. Together, we can do more, better, with less negative impact on the planet.
Right. So just to conclude the presentation, you would have been able to see even from the video that well-designed and constructed, operated, and maintained green energy can have many benefits, including the durability, reduced costs, implementation of materials, sustainable materials like glass for energy, water operations, and maintenance. So this will ultimately improve the occupant's health and productivity, and the potential for greater occupants' satisfaction than standard development. A green building may cost more upfront, but ultimately to save money over the life of the lifespan of a particular project or life cycle of the project through lower operating costs. And these savings may be more apparent through the life cycle assessment. So cost savings are most likely to be fully realized when incorporated in project conceptual design. So every part of every professional in that project is being welcomed at the conceptual stage, and then we'll go through the entire design virtually even before it's been put in place. So the assistance of integrated team and building professionals would also make this realizable on time. So the integrated system approach aims to design the buildings or projects as one system rather than a collection of disconnected or disjointed systems. So perhaps surprisingly, good green energies often cost only few percentage points or not more for building than conventional designs. So when we have integrated design processes that identify the most efficient holistic approaches of buildings, and the green can always help us reduce the initial cost. So for example, in some cases when the buildings are carefully designed to be energy efficient, the HVAC equipment, that's the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems or equipment, can be downsized for significant savings and also saving the ultimate energy, which is making us go green in the first place. So, ladies and gentlemen, of course, like you can see, the construction isn't going anywhere. So it's time for AEC professionals in all sectors of the industry to embrace it, embrace technology, embrace capacity building, and of course, as construction technology continues to grow and evolve, it will be interesting to see how green construction changes and grows alongside it. So thankfully, going green during the building process is easier than ever. So thanks to the proliferation of powerful construction technology tools, which are available to us today. So I want to thank the organizers for this opportunity. And of course, I welcome any questions. If you have them, you can drop them on the chat, or you can contact me through any of my social media pages or the email, and we can take discussion further after now. So thank you everyone, and thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for that enlightening presentation. I think we must have gotten a lot of things from what Mr. Olamide has presented. I think I heard a lot of things. If you permit me just to read a few. I heard about mainstreaming green energy. I heard about things on embodied energy, specialization for green technology. We need to look at the glass applications for new buildings. We need to look at energy systems. Then we need to look at also our own homegrown technology development for green energy. He also maybe touched on the old versus new buildings, and then energy consumption being a key. Before we go into the question and answer, I'd like to call on our Dean of Environmental Sciences, University of Lagos, Professor Mrs. Modupe Omiri, to say a few words if she's available. Madam Dean, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Okulaja. And good morning, everyone that is already participating even before I could join. I apologize that due to some other demands on my time, I couldn't join right from the beginning. But I am sure that we are all benefiting maximally from the very, very well conceived and extremely well delivered paper by Mr. Olamide of COSTECH. It's very inspiring, and it also points at what is possible with advancements in technology that can help us actualize the dreams and hopes about green buildings in our environment. Now, in our faculty, we are very much committed to research in these areas, and we would like to really advance, collaborations and efforts to push things further beyond just meeting on platforms like this. And I'm very, very pleased that Mr. Olamide has been very, very positively disposed towards this. And we're riding on the back of the International Year of Glass activities. Much is being achieved already, and we hope that much more will be achieved as time goes on. So thank you very much, everyone. I wish us a very, very fruitful discussion in the rest of the program of this morning. Thank you, Mr. Okulaja.
Thank you for that, Ma. I'd also like to call upon Mr. Adebayo Kwobi, the Secretary for Alkaline Beehive Design Foundation, for his remarks. if he's available, please. Mr. Okwobi, are you available to say a few words? I see him on the dialogue, but maybe he's not in a position to discuss now. So at this point, I would like us to have a few questions for the presenter. If there are any questions, please put them in the chat box, or you can raise your voice, or even just interject and talk while. So please, questions. Let me give you a few minutes to talk. Okay, if there are no questions, I'd like to just pull up some.
We have a question, sorry.
Okay, please go ahead.
Can I go on?
Yes, please go ahead.
Mr. Olamide Ogolola, thank you so much for your brilliant presentation. You've spoken so well about the importance of green energy, and I, in industry, want to key into green energy for construction and design. Now, there's a link between building information model buildings. Please, could you elaborate a bit on that so I can connect the importance as important, but how to go about it? Where do we start from? So please, could you kindly enlighten us on that aspect? Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Like I discussed in the previous event, building information modeling is a tool. So that's the technology that enables us to implement green building, green energy. So the entire concept comes with the use of the tool. So BIM itself is just the process of having to engage with these tools throughout the life cycle of your project. So the link in between both of them is, while one is a concept, the other is the tool that you get to use. So there are loads of tools that you have there. Tools in terms of software, technology implementation, so on and so forth, for presentations and sustainability of the design and even project management. So for you to be able to have the maybe environmentally responsible and resource efficient throughout the life cycle of the project, this objective can be expanded. Maybe when you have complementing classical building design concerns, and then of course engaging more with collaboration, coordination, and communication within the entire team we are going to be working on the project. So yeah, that is where the link is between both of them. I don't know if I've been able to answer your question, or probably we can engage more after the session.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
We appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think what Mr. Olamide touched on is very, very important. But I also want to drive home the essential role that data collection has to play. I know that particularly in our own environment here, we are very, very data poor. When it even comes to experimentation, yes, we are very academic in our approach to that, but we also need to see how we can practicalize the knowledge that we have gained. A lot of things that are suggested, even in our energy policy, And even for our building specs, we will note that, yes, we have a lot of lofty ideas, but when it comes to the practical implementation of these ideas, we fall very short. And this does not bode well for the building industry. If we look at the current problem we're having in Nigeria now that has particular emphasis on energy and energy production and transmission, I dare say a lot of Nigerians are now moving to solar. Solar has the potential to give the energy to all building infrastructure, whether it is street lights, buildings, or any other kind of facility. And really, the energy comes at no cost. All you have to do is to look at how you can capture it. And that is just by putting a number of solar arrays. There could be a hindrance to this, which is definitely the issue of cost of acquiring these solar panels. But by the time we start talking about this, I'm sure that the financial institutions will now start to look at creative ways of bringing in financing for this renewable technology. Like we said, the energy is free and it shines on us nearly more than any other country. For a country like Germany, they are totally reliant on renewable energy. And for the world where we're moving to a transition from fossil fuels to renewable technology, we have no excuse but to continue to flag the notion that we can actually be self-sufficient in energy in Nigeria, if only we look at the alternatives that are available to us and what is freely available in our environment. So are there any other questions or comments? The floor is open. Okay, if there are no other comments, I think we should also, I have a question for Mr. Olamide. What are your thoughts on how we can actually use old buildings in terms of, not exactly building new ones, but retrofitting them for green energy and clean technology? And also how smart glass also can play a role in this retrofitting of old buildings for new purposes. Thank you.
Yes, during my presentation, I spoke about a technology called Scan2Beam. It's basically for retrofitting and renovations of existing structures, buildings, infrastructure projects entirely. So what happens is the technology uses equipment which are like scanners with the Leica technology. So in fact, it's even going as easy and simple as using very smart mobile phones. I think we have mobile phones from iPhone and then also from Apple and the other one from Microsoft now. This can be used to capture existing structures or buildings, and then this is automatically integrates with your BIM. So while we're doing that, we can actually substitute existing structures with glass and then be able to implement this. The implementation process is not cumbersome, it's quite straightforward, and it's something which protects green and then also sustainability as we have spoken about on the presentation.
Thank you very much for that. So my last question is, how do you think we can mainstream, green energy in professional practice? And I would also like to ask a second question also to our Dean of Environmental Sciences, how we can also mainstream that in the education of our own future professionals. Thank you. So I would like Mr. Olamide to answer first, and then the Dean answer second.
Collaboration. I mean, collaborating with, we are live in Nigeria, and we are happy to collaborate with organizations such as yours, and then also with the professional bodies, Nigerian Society of Engineers, Nigerian Institute of Architects, to bring closer these technologies, capacity building events that will be able to touch the lives of even young ones, junior members who are ready to learn and then be able to explore these technologies to the fullest. So basically, for smart growth and of course development in the economy, we have to bring all these kind of collaborations close to the professional bodies who can ultimately impact on the professional. So my simple answer is the collaboration efforts.
Thank you so much for your comments. So Professor Omiri, do you have any comments or remarks on this professional practice aspect, please? Over to you, Ma. Do you have any comments? Or maybe we'll come back to her. So at this point, I'd like to bring on our second presenter, which is Dr. David Adio-Moses. Dr. David Adio-Moses is a lecturer in the University of Lagos. He's one that has a lot of experience in green building and smart technology. He's a green smart city innovation strategist. And I know that his presentation will be very, very insightful in these aspects. So without further ado, I want to bring to the floor Dr. David Adio-Moses. Thank you, Dr. Moses. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adeolu Okulaja. I'm honored for this opportunity to present this information to the public. We have reached a critical point in our nation where we need to move forward. We can't keep going round and round in circles. So I am Dr. David Adio-Moses. I'm a lecturer at the University of Lagos, Department of Architecture. And as Adeolu said, I'm a green smart system innovation strategist. So I'll be sharing my slide now. I just want to introduce myself. So I'll switch off my video and then I would share my screen so that we can see presentation. Okay, so the title of my presentation is Innovative Use of Glass for Green Energy in Smart Buildings. Essentially, what we are looking at is that everybody knows about solar panels. Everybody is a general knowledge. But what people don't know is that we are using solar panels wrongly in Nigeria. What do I mean by that? Solar panels have very little energy that they actually deliver. But when you look at the load consumption in every house, in every building, is very heavy. So when you use solar panels for heavy load, it renders the solar panels inefficient. So that's why you keep hearing people complain, the solar panel solution did not work. The problem is not the solar panel. The problem is the load. So that is actually level one of using glass for green energy, for solar energy in Nigeria. We are still at level one, and we haven't even gotten level one properly. So if you look at the screen, you can see I wrote level one, glass for solar panels to produce green energy, in brackets, sustainable clean energy. So we are still at that level 1, but we haven't gotten it right. So right now, this program, part of this program is to create the awareness that right from the design stage, we need to implement low energy load buildings. So from the appliances, even the design, you go to buildings today, houses and so on, and during the day, you have to put on the lights because you don't even have adequate light coming into the building. So you find out that right from the design stage, if you have missed it, you end up putting on lights you don't need to put on in the daytime. And to create a cooling effect, how do you bring in air into the building? The cover of the window cover and so on. So the design is very important to allow minimal use of energy. It is when you have transited into what we call green architecture or green buildings, that is when green energy will work for you. So that is the first point that I would like everybody to please understand in Nigeria, for Nigeria. Now, level 2 that I wrote there, I wrote smart glass for solar windows and curtain wallings, or wallings. That's green energy for efficient smart system. Now, what that means is that the world has gone beyond using solar panels. Right now, the whole building generates electricity. So you find out that the windows are generating electricity, the curtain wallings are generating electricity. So the whole building is generating electricity. So they have been able to achieve a system where you have a high amount of solar energy being developed. In Nigeria today, we haven't even got where we would have a high level of solar energy. So we need to recognize, and that's, I will go into details of the smart glass, and that's why it is important to utilize glass optimally. So that is the glass for grid system, in brackets, data technology for strategic networking and security. So what does this mean? It means that the first level was just producing green energy. The second level was producing a lot of green energy. This third level, when we are talking about green smart energy grid system, actually combines green energy with data infrastructure, smart digital data infrastructure. So that means that the same lines, the same connectivity for Internet of Things that we use to access green energy, those green smart glass panels can actually also be connected to the database, to the internet, so that you actually have a green smart grid system. So not only are we talking about green energy, we are talking about data transfer. So based on that introduction, it's clear that we understand those 3 levels. So based on that introduction, I will now go into the other part of the introduction. Now, buildings and vehicles contribute more than 75% of the Earth's pollution. Part of this pollution comes from cooking food, heating, and cooling of buildings. The use of smart solar glass provides green energy for vehicles and also constant electricity for buildings. This is a form of green energy which can help to prevent pollution. Olamide mentioned something about that too. Electricity access is the percentage of people within a given location of stable access to electricity. Poor electricity access is one of the challenges in many African countries. Across the country, unable to get access to electricity in a space, charging phones or laptops. Now, many people know about glass, so it's a sustainable material. material, which provides great environment appreciated in many applications for its innate value and its contribution regarding people's soul and
Dr. Moses,
and wind
you seem to
turbines,
be
which largely
breaking.
provide materials such as glass.
Dr. Moses, you seem to be breaking. Please check your internet connection.
Oh, okay, I'm breaking. That's source. Is this clearer now?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. If it's still not clear, I switch to my phone. I'm currently on the laptop. Quickly, glass, we haven't started scratching the surface of the full potential. Glass, like just a small percentage. Next slide, we will see that we're looking at cotton walling of central bank, and you can see what like the amount of energy, solar energy that can be generated if you actually apply it with cotton walling. You can see the surface of your building. Same thing with eco bank.
Dr. Ade Moses, you seem to be breaking.
That's the next level.
I've lost your voice communication.
Oh, okay. In that case, maybe I should just switch to my phone. I was using the laptop, but I'll switch to my phone and take it up from there. So
I think you can do this. I think you can do the two at the same time. While you are on your laptop, you can speak into your phone.
Okay. Okay. So I'm now speaking. I'm speaking from my phone now. Is it clearer now?
Yes, I believe you are clearer now.
Clearer now. Okay, that's good. Thank you for the feedback. Okay. So please give me a second. Let me put the volume of.
I think we have a feedback.
Give me a second. The volume of the laptop is echoing here. Yes, I want to switch off the. Okay, so it's better now.
Yes, it is better now. Thank you.
Okay. So let me go back into sharing. Okay, so I'll use my phone audio and okay, so we're back. Okay, so now in front of you is the framework for green smart city development or green smart system development, either of the two. And this framework is so important because it answers the question, why don't we have progress in Nigeria? Why is it that the government tries so hard? We have wonderful universities like OAU, University of Lagos, UI. The whole world is moving forward. Nigeria is not just standing still. It's as if Nigeria is moving back. So we ask, what is the problem? What are we doing wrong? What is the issue? The problem is a systemic problem. And once you have a systemic problem, It means that you have to go down to the roots and find out, investigate. Now, what do I mean by a systemic problem? Let's use this analogy. The system in Nigeria can be likened to the human body. You have the head, the hands, the legs, everything complete. God forbid one hand is off, then there's a problem in the system. But if you have the system that's every part of your body, it's as if the system is complete. And so when we look in Nigeria, we see that we have a lot of things in place. So that is the first aspect. The second aspect is the process. Now, let's liken the process to the fact that you have eyes doesn't mean that you can see. So if your eyes are functioning, then that means you can see. If your mouth is functioning, that means you can speak. So it's one thing to have mouth, it's another thing to be able to speak. So in Nigeria, the process is faulty, but we still have some processes in place. So what is lacking in Nigeria today is what I call strategic innovation. We lack it. And that is why no matter the effort we put, strategic innovation does not work in Nigeria, because in the Bible, in Psalm 11 verse 3, the Bible says that if the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? If you look at the Bible, in Genesis chapter 1 verse 3, God said, let there be light, and there was light. Now, if you want to achieve strategic innovation, you cannot put the cart before the horse. You cannot say you want to do infrastructure, intelligent buildings, when number one, you have not done smart government and smart people. You've not done smart educational system. You've not done smart healthcare. You've not done smart ICT. You've not done smart security systems. You need to put the foundation first. These systems must be in place. And what powers this system is green energy. So for as long as you do not have green energy, you do not have 24/7 electricity, what you are doing is you are providing solutions that are not sustainable. And because you don't have smart system in place, you are providing solutions that will not work. So it's not that if you go to other parts of the world, those solutions are working. But when you come to Nigeria, you find that it's not efficient, it's not really working. The problem is that the foundation is destroyed. And that's what the Bible says, that if the foundations are destroyed, what will the righteous do? So this framework you are looking at is a strategic innovation. And that strategic innovation is the enlightenment. Enlightenment has light. And that is why it is important that we look at this aspect of the framework. So back to the framework. At the top of the framework is smart green energy grid system. If you remember, I talked about level 1, level 2, level 3. We are still at level 1. We've not even gotten to level 2. By the time we get to level 2, we need to get to level 3. And I'll go into details in this presentation. Now, it is at level 3 that we can start achieving this. So with this framework, on the left are the human aspects, the smart citizens and government, the smart educational system, and the smart healthcare. We need to first reorientate our minds. Our attitude in Nigeria is wrong, is not going to enhance progress. If you're going to achieve progress, sustainable development in Nigeria, you have to reorientate the mind to think in line with progress, not the way we do in Nigeria today. The middle aspect has to do with infrastructure that cannot be seen physically. That has to do with things like smart ICT infrastructure, that's the data connectivity, internet, and so on. The smart security systems, every square inch of Lagos State, of Nigeria, can be accessed, even from satellites, everything happening. So is it covered by security systems? Is it being monitored? Because without a secure environment, you cannot achieve progress. The third aspect is smart agriculture. The agricultural systems, we have a lot of food, but to transform the food to the people is where the problem is. It gets rotting in storage cells and so on. So you need to have a system that brings the price of food down because there'll be abundance of food. Now, when all this is in place, that's when you can really go into smart infrastructure. The one on the right side is infrastructure that can be seen. The first one is things like the smart infrastructure, like road connection, drainage systems, waste management, and so on. The next one is intelligent buildings, green smart buildings. And then the last one is green smart transportation system. So you can imagine a government or people trying to have green smart buildings without first putting all these other things in place. It is impossible. You can't really achieve it. So the whole thing goes hand in hand together. Now, when we can go into solar inverter. Now, in terms of solar inverter, you find out that a solar inverter or a PV inverter is a type of power inverter which converts the variable direct content, this current, DC output of a photovoltaic solar panel into a utility frequency alternating current that can be fed into a commercial electrical grid or used by a local off-grid electrical network. It is a critical balance of system, BOS component in a photovoltaic system, allowing the use of ordinary AC powered current. Now, what does that mean? When power is coming from PHCN, it comes heavy. That is DC, direct current. When it's going to come into buildings, it has to be stepped down into AC, alternating current. It is the alternating current that we use for our appliances. If you bring DC directly, it will blow up appliances and so on. And you can see internal views and so on. Now, we go to what is a solar microinverter. A solar microinverter is an inverter designed to operate with a single PV module. The microinverter converts the direct current output from each panel into alternating currents. Its design allows parallel connection of multiple independent units in a modular way. Microinverter advantages include single panel power optimization, independent operation of each panel, plug and play installation, improved installation, fire safety, minimize costs with design, system design, and stock minimization. Now, I will go into details of that. So what does this really mean when we talk about energy? We are talking about green energy, that's solar energy through glass. And when the energy is coming into the building, you have to use inverters. Now, there are 4 broad types. The first one is the standalone inverter. This is isolated and where inverters draw this direct current from the batteries charged by photovoltaic arrays. Now, what this means is that these inverters get power directly from the sun. And so with these inverters, you do not have the storage capacity per se. The second type of inverters is the battery backup inverters. These are designed to draw energy from a battery, manage the battery charge via onboard charger, and export excess energy to the utility grid. So the difference between the first one and the second one is that if you have the first one, you have to switch it off and you have to switch it on, and there's no storage for it. But in the second one, it is automatic. You can leave it on. If power comes, it goes off by itself. When PHCN goes off, it comes on by itself. And then it also can store energy and send it to the grid. That is the third one, the second one. The third one is the intelligent hybrid inverters. Now, these ones are the ones that actually can connect to the grid. Sorry, the second one doesn't connect to the grid. It's standalone, therefore inside the house. But this third one can connect to the grid. What that means is that it can take power from outside source.
Dr. Moses, your
Yes.
presentation is, you're not more sharing your screen. Your presentation is...
I'm on the first. I'm showing the screen.
No, you are not. Your presentation is not shared on the screen.
Yes, I thought it was sharing.
It's not sharing at the moment.
Oh, okay. Let me go back to it. It was sharing before. Was this sharing before?
Yes, it was, but it's not sharing at the moment.
Okay, maybe the internet, by the time Nigeria has 5G, will be able to, is it sharing now?
Yes, it is.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, it was the internet that's fluctuating. So you have the third one. So the aspect of the third one is that not only can it absorb energy, it can also send energy to the grid system. And then the fourth one, oops, sorry. The fourth one is the grid tie inverter. These inverters match phase with a utility supplied sine wave. The grid tie inverters are designed to shut down automatically upon loss of utility. And you can see it there, utility supply for safety reasons. What that means is that this fourth one does not also stop. They say they do not provide backup power during utility outages. It's only for supply. And in case there's a problem that they need to do maintenance service from the electric company, they can shut it down. So that is the difference between the four inverters. And then you have what you call maximum power point tracking, which involves the solar inverters getting the maximum possible power from the PV array. So that is what maximum power point tracking is really about. You also have the photovoltaic inverter, which you can see the diagram there. And you can see the DC current coming from the solar panels in the diagram and entering into the DC converter and then going into the controller. So from the controller, it goes into the inverter and then into the AC detecting current and into the appliance. So all this is just to show you the process of how electricity comes in, especially for solar energy. Now, the importance of solar energy, if you look at the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 7, is to ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. Now, one mistake we are making in Nigeria is that even when we have electricity being supplied, electricity is seen as a way of just generating money. But electricity goes beyond that. Electricity can actually be used to for economic recovery, creating jobs, and so on. So we need to create, with green smart energy grid system, you actually have an opportunity where the rich can help the poor and bring up the poor, so that until you start using a certain amount of energy, you are getting electricity almost free. So that way you find out that no matter who you are in Nigeria, even if you don't really have money, you are so poor, you will still have electricity. So everybody has electricity. That way, the poor can gradually move up the ladder, because then with electricity, you can have home-based industry, cottage industries, and so on. People can work from home, and it will move the economy forward. So green smart energy system is not just a matter of providing energy, it's also a way of alleviating poverty. Now, the level 1, there are various types. What we have in Nigeria is just the level 1, essentially, which means that you have solar panels on the roof. And an example is polysolar solar panels. It uses a type of technology that enables one to use them in locations where conventional panels would not be as efficient, such as vertical facades and non-optimal orientations. This thin layer technology also means that the panels can be adapted to have different levels of transparency depending on the application. Not only do the panels generate clean solar energy, but also significantly reduce thermal gain, providing a more comfortable environment. They consist of laminated glass, thereby increasing their strength and permitting use in overhead applications. So what does this mean? In the solar panels we have in Nigeria today, there are different types of solar panels for roofing, but many people don't know that there are different kinds. Now, if you look at this one, for example, it's saying that it not only do the panels generate clean solar energy, but also significantly reduce thermal gain. That means they reduce the heat load. So you find out that there are different types. This one can also be used on vertical facades. So you find out that there are different kinds of solar panels, but the ones we just know are the ones that we just put on the roof. So the solar panels for level 1, the point we are making with this is that there are different types. So we need to be exposed to the different types and their benefits. Now, when we move to level 2, this is where we really want to move to in Nigeria. This is the next level for us. Now, we have different types that are put here, but this is the general overview. Solar windows are tech-enhanced windows that generate power by converting sunlight into eco-friendly electrical energy, thus reducing your electricity bill significantly. Solar windows are made with BIPV technology, building integrated photovoltaic. Most of them have perovskite solar panels. When the technology is installed in paints to generate energy, the window still performs its primary function of letting low intensity light into your home because it is transparent. The technology is evolving and depends on nanotechnology, on quantum dot technology. As opposed to the silicon used in solar panels, quantum dots are semiconductive materials with opaque and electronic properties. Given the features, the materials can transmit electrons, thus allowing energy to travel through very small openings. They are semi-transparent solar cells that enable your regular windows to do more than shielding your home from adverse atmospheric elements. So what does this mean? We are looking at that. The difference between solar panels and solar windows is that the solar panels are opaque. You can't see through them. But with solar windows, you can see through. So not only is it generating electricity, you can also see through the windows. And then this discusses how they work, that essentially the medium is capable of absorbing infrared and ultraviolet radiation from the sun when the rays fall on it. Afterwards, it will convert the radiation into electrical energy. So basically, that's how solar windows work, and you have different types. And then, can solar windows power a building? Yes. And this is an example of Sharp has a product that measures 45 to 55 inches. The product can generate between 39 to 46 watts. There are so many different kinds. So we are still on level 2. Here are some companies that make solar window products. You have Ubiquitous Energy, is a California-based startup. You have Swift Glass Company. They are based in New York. You have Energy Glass, is a Florida-based company. And each one of these companies, their products have their advantages. I believe that this presentation will be shared to all participants so that you can see the differences. So when we are talking about solar windows, it's not just one type. It has different types, different uses, which is what this presentation is really all about, to enlighten us about solar windows and curtain wallings. You have Solar Gap, California-based smart energy giant, Solar Windows Technology, and you also have Abrisa Technologies in California. The benefits of solar windows: it lowers electricity bills, it absorbs ultraviolet rays, it provides clean energy, it reduces bright ray effects by reducing glare, it provides privacy. They can have dark or heavy screen, depending on the degree of privacy you want. It is efficient and it reduces energy demands. Still on the level 2, We have smart glass. It's also known as switchable glass or thermochromic glass. You can see we have different types of solar glass. And then the advantages: greater energy efficiency, privacy, block UV radiation, solar generation. Now there's AGC Glass. AGC Glass is a popular glass company, and they are so much into it that you can even access them on the internet, their website. And when you are designing your building, actually check for their specifications and utilize it in your building so that the contractors can make those specific requests for those glass materials, those solar glass products. So AGC Interplane makes facade glass into a power station. And then they have various products like Stopray Active. This shows an example of their curtain walling with glass. Smart Skin from Glass Interplane combines photovoltaics in the facade with learnable sensors and intelligent systems for building management. So you can see it's already connecting to the grid. So still on level 2, we have AGC Interplane, electricity from glass ring. These are examples of AGC glass. We have Clearview Tech for efficient glass energy system and all the advantages it has. So we have different kinds. We have solar systems, increased output, increased flexibility, system monitoring, no single point of failure, easily expandable, system safety, longer warranties, battery ready. So these are all the things for level 2. Now, finally, we come to the level 3, which is green smart energy grid systems. And we have the grid tie inverter, which connects them and makes sure that they work essentially. Then you have the smart grid system, which leverages on the power of digital technology to improve electricity management and to combine it with big data using Internet of Things. So you have solar farm, which is a large collection of photovoltaic solar panels mounted on the ground. And then advantages of green smart energy grid system: big data transfer, efficient energy distribution, faster detection of power outage source, automatic load balancing, enhanced security system, and smart metering, cybersecurity. Takes time to develop. Okay, then the challenges: smart metering, cybersecurity, takes time to develop smart infrastructure, automatic load bearing, grid tie inverter. And the things one should know, the Internet of Things is how it is connected, and then the impact, the poverty alleviation, the education and job creation, the security and sustainable transportation, and addressing UN SDGs. So, and these are the references. Please, how much time do I have left, Adeolu?
You don't have much time left. You have actually taken.
I just wanted to show a video that of about 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think you can show the video. I think it should be beneficial. You can show the video. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So let me come out of this and so let me come back. Okay.
While Dr. Adil Moses is trying to show us the video, I think everyone would agree with me that he has taken us from the fundamentals to where we should be in the future. And you can see that he has done a lot of technical research, and all this has a lot of technical details. And there's a lot of information that can be gotten from his presentation. This presentation would be available. This presentation will be available when this event is over, and I'm sure that we'll all benefit from it. But I would like you to please take notes of the particular reference to glass and green energy. And please ask questions as well. The presenters are here to answer your questions while delivering and impacting the information to you. So please feel free to ask them questions. So I think he's ready for his video now. And I think you can proceed with that. Thank you. So Dr. Adio Moses, you can unmute.
Even from the center of the planet, architects.
Can you log off from your phone?
Can it really be that?
I think you have a double feedback. Dr. Moses, can you log off from your phone? We have a double feedback. And I think you can start the video from the beginning. Thank you. Dr. Moses, we don't have any audio from the video.
Okay, can you hear it now?
No, we can't hear it.
Can you? Can you see the video?
We can see the video, but we can't hear it.
Okay. I'll put on all my audio.
Okay,
So
what we can do is to circle back to this video, probably after the presentation from AGT, and then maybe also we can take the questions from the audience if we have any questions at this point. So the floor is open to questions if you have concluded your presentation.
Yes, I've completed my presentation. I would maybe when presenting, showing the video, I'll show the video from my phone so that the audio and the video I won't use my laptop.
Okay, that is fine. You can also send us a link so I can share it with everyone. So we have a couple of questions. If you have your hand raised, you can just come into the floor and unmute yourself and ask your questions, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Raja. May I speak, please?
Yes, ma. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity. You asked a question earlier on. I started to answer the question only to realize later that I was muted. So I'm very sorry about that. If I could quickly just answer that. Sorry if it seems to be a little distraction from what Dr. Adio Moses had been presenting, but it's a very important question and I'd like to answer it if you don't mind now. Do I have your go ahead?
Yes, Mark, please go ahead.
Thank you. All right, you asked a question as to how the education system would be, linking, or what would be the linkage between the new technologies you are talking about and how we can build this into the education system. Yes, it's a very important question, a very valid one, going by the fact that, especially in the universities and polytechnics, we're preparing people, building their capacity for the industry and for being able to address architectural, construction, environmental, and other challenges. Right. I have a few points I'd just like to mention quickly. First is that already some of the courses that are being taught under existing curricula have begun to integrate the knowledge that we are talking about into the delivery of courses. Dr. Adio Moses is a lecturer in the Department of Architecture, and he's, recently concluded his PhD research, which, dealt very, very extensively on these matters. And I know that he's already building his lecture notes and course delivery to master's students, enriching them with some of these things, the concepts, the applications, the implications, and so on and so forth. And he's not the only one. There are lecturers in the Department of Building, lecturers in the Department of Architecture, and so on, that are already, even in urban and regional planning, estate management, all of them, that are already making sure that their lectures reflect new developments along the line of technology and the application to improve dwellers' experience, to improve the use of facilities in the Nigerian environment and across the globe. So that's one thing. The second thing is that we are also trying to enrich students' experience and exposure through access to recorded materials that are available online. For some of these things, we do not yet have laboratories, we do not yet have all the equipment we need to give the students hands-on experience, physical experience of what they need to see, what they need to know. So the fact that some of these things are available online helps to really, really shore up what we're able to give them at the moment. But one of the things that could help the education system to really deliver the kind of education and empowerment that students need is availability of appropriate, what do we call it now, laboratory equipment, appropriate enablers to enable the lecturers to do a good job in showing the students the reality of what they are talking about. Thirdly, there's scope for introducing new courses at undergraduate and postgraduate levels, and even below undergraduate level in technical schools and so on, because I don't want to limit what I'm saying to our university alone. Capacity needs to be built even right from the most rudimentary stage, so that people get used to these things before they begin to offer services in the industry later. So, however, the process of introducing new courses is by no means quick or easy to deal with. You have the requirements at the NUC, you have the requirements at the NBTE that have to be met in order to, be able to mount courses as we would like to. So in order to meet the requirements of these two very important regulatory bodies, you must demonstrate that you have the resource persons. Resource persons must have the competencies, the qualifications. Then also you must have the space, you must have the equipment, you must have the laboratories. You must convince these regulatory bodies that you have the resources that you need to be able to mount courses. So there's going to be some time needed to be able to carry that out. Another thing that is possible and that we are trying to do is that of collaborating in capacity building for those who are already in the industry. A forum like this now, though it is mounted on the back of the Year of Glass celebrations, is one that gives that kind of opportunity for those in academia, those in industry, to collaborate in enriching the knowledge, the exposure of those who need the knowledge and who are participating in this kind of forum and who will participate in other fora as time goes on. So these are things that are possible, and some of which we're already doing as mentioned. The last one, but not the least, is that of research. As we are researching at this end, we need the collaboration of those who are already on the front line in the industry, so that we can all draw down the benefits in a most sustainable way to improve the opportunities available within our system. I hope I've answered your question. I want to thank you very much for the opportunity, and I want to thank the speakers. Their papers have been extremely educative and enriching. Thank you very much, Mr. Okulaja.
Thank you very much, Ma. I think I had Alabi raise up the hand. I'm not sure whether he's there, but if there's any other person that wants to ask a question, the floor is open.
Where is it in now you're going to? You're not carrying anything.
Yes, go ahead.
Come on, stay.
Okay. At this point, I think I would address the question of Ade Kanye. He's a graduate of glass technology from the Federal Polytechnic, Ado-Ekiti. I would like to say a very big welcome to you. I never knew we had a glass technology course, even in Nigeria. So that is very, very enlightening. But based off of the question you asked, I think at this point, it depends on, you asked whether you would, what kind of course can I go for for a master's degree? I think it would be determined by your interest. Glass technology is very wide, just like the presentation that Dr. David Adio-Moses has said now. Nigeria is still on the first level. So when you're looking at where you want to specialize and master in, there's all sorts of ways. You could do smart agriculture, you could do security, you could do all sorts of things. And glass also has a lot of applications in the building and construction industry. So you could also do some research on innovation. And I think you are actually in the right sphere when you want to talk about glass technology, because if you look at it, even for space, you need to know about glass. And by extension, you need to know about all the applications of glass in that area as well. So without spending too much time, I think you can send an email to yearofglass2022@gmail.com, and we can address all your other issues or questions. But at this point, I would like to also ask, are there any more questions based off on the last presentation from Dr. David Adio-Moses? The floor is open, please. Okay, if there are no questions, I would like to thank Dr. Adio-Moses for that insightful presentation. I know that he covered quite a lot, and I'm still jotting down some things which I need to even talk to him on a one-on-one basis. I don't think this forum would give me the opportunity to explore all the details I would want. So at this time, if Emma Douglas is available, I think we would like to have her say a few words. Emma is the Business Development Manager for AGT Glass. AGT Glass was one of the participants at our last concluded International Year of Glass, National Glass Day. AGT operates one of the latest and most advanced glass facade technology in the country. AGT has carved a niche for itself as a trusted, quality conscious organization, adopting the latest technology and working with techniques in all its extensive networks and client activities. AGT processes smart glass, aluminum cladding, and provides integrated glass solutions with a drive to bring in energy efficient glass into the Nigerian market. AGT has one-of-a-kind tempering line and double glazing, amongst other machinery to cater to the double silver glass and other premium grades of glass that are being requested in the Nigerian construction industry and by specifiers. So without saying too much, I would like to introduce Ms. Emma Douglas, if she's available, to please say a few more words on green energy and smart glass. So Emma, over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm Hello again, everybody. Part of, I think the direction I'll be taking this conversation is just putting forward the information we have about solutions to most of what has been discussed in this forum so far. So AGT is fairly new on the market. We decided, as actually it's fundamentally owned by an oil and gas service company, oddly enough, and in a bid to provide to be in the frontier of where technology and energy and requirements in the country is going, we decided to take on this product line. So the drive that AGT is trying to put forward in the Nigerian market is basically as an energy solution to a degree, because most of our houses are becoming more, especially in Lagos, they're more high rises for official and accommodation purposes. And from our observation of the market, having sustainable energy or affordable sustainable energy is still a bit of a myth for our market. Most people are more inclined to just sticking with fossil fuel generated power. Well, that seems to be our only solution for now, the mainstream solution in the Nigerian commercial space. But in recent years, that has become more expensive and more tedious and just not healthy for the environment. So with more investors and developers looking into solutions alongside solar panels and all of that, we are putting forward a glass solution to the building so that your building is also part of your energy efficient drive. So the kind of glasses that we are presenting to the market is photoelectric glasses, double silver rated glasses. And what these type of products do for your building is that it conserves your energy. So if you're in a space where you need your ambient temperature to remain cool and stable, our glasses are very, very efficient at retaining ambient temperature. And also, for those that have the budget to have the cladding of the building actually generate power, so you're not having to worry about doing up an entire building with glass, then worry about putting up solar panels. We are also providing a solution to the market where your facade is also photoelectric, so you can store solar energy, you can capture solar energy with kind of glasses that you use for the facade of your building. Because of the type of glass that we are putting forward in the market, we require special machinery. So we're having to invest in unique tempering machines, cutting machines, and all of that. We have not fully taken our products to the market on a big scale. So far, we've done the number one Akina Deshola building. That's the Access Bank building. We've done the Kara building in Lagos. We've done the Blue Water building in Lekki, amongst others. But in terms of implementing some of our solar capturing glass and the likes, we are in talks with certain clients for this, and we're hoping sooner rather than later we would have projects that we can point to successfully completed for this purpose. And because we do not manufacture commercial glass in country, again, because of our energy deficient, because of how energy deficient our market is, we are partnering with the likes of AGC Glass United, Saint-Gobain, and Guardian Glass. So these are one of the top 3 glass manufacturers in the world, and we're getting a selection of the highest performing glasses from them, and we're very keen on having stock in country so that we don't have like a turnaround time deficiency or logistical issues. So yes, in a nutshell, sorry I do not have slides, but there's a group chat I can put forward the AGT profile on there, on the group page. But yes, this is the solution that we're providing. This is how we're trying to push green buildings in a sense, because if you have a low fossil fuel dependent building, you are also this is directly impacting the environment. So we're hoping that in good time, not only for commercial buildings, personal develop like private buildings, personal people building their personal homes would be open to using adapting these glass solutions, because yes, with every passing day, technology on the frontier of what glass is available is pushing the envelope. And we hope to be the company that translates this technology to the Nigerian market as it is happening around the world. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Emma. I think it's an example to show that companies are actually having a lot of confidence in the future for glass and the future for green energy in Nigeria. And it's basically also to encourage all of us that this is an aspect that we should look into. I might want to say also that Nigeria is one of the only countries in the world that has, you know, the purest quantity and quality of materials to make glass. And when you look at this, you're looking about things like silicon chips, you're looking about space technology, you're looking about biomedical glasses, you're looking about so many other things. So it will be encouraging also to see a lot of our graduates and undergraduates do more research and bring out innovative solutions in the area of glass and in the area of energy and energy storage. I have a question from Monday, who is a graduate of electrical and electronics engineering from the Federal Polytechnic Kaduna. His question is there any course on solar energy I can choose for my PGD in any school? So I would like to first of all hand this over to our Dean of the faculty to give an answer to this, and also maybe to the presenters for their comments. Thank you. Is the Dean available to answer the question? Okay, maybe she's not. Dr. Adio Moses, okay. Can you answer that question on his behalf?
Okay, so let me get that question right. He said to study what? What was it exactly? What did he say?
His question is, what other course can I choose for my PGD? That's his postgraduate, maybe diploma or postgraduate course in any school.
Okay, in terms of solar energy.
Yes.
Okay, so when you look at solar energy, for example, there are various components of solar energy. First and foremost, you have the materials. And when you look at University of Lagos, for example, you have in material and metallurgical engineering department, they focus on materials. In fact, I've seen projects of students doing solar panels and so on, but they approach it from the material point of view. Now, when you look at the electrical energy that's being generated, the electronics engineering students too approach solar power from the electrical point of view in terms of the electrical power. So one can also go into that. The third aspect has to do with the Department of Physics in University of Lagos or in any university, which actually brings together the materials and the energy, the electrical energy. So in physics department, you see that because physics is the foundation of science, physical science, you see that they have the courses which can bring together the components. And not only are we looking at components for the solar panels, but components for building, for maybe wall paneling and so on, curtain wallings and so on. So the components that come together. Lastly, has to do with from the design aspect. So when you talk about solar power, solar energy, and so on, if the design, and that's what Mr. Ogulola was talking about, as per integrated project delivery. The normal way we usually do design and construction in the building industry is that the architect finishes the design, passes it on to the engineer does it, and then, but in integrated project delivery, everybody is involved in the design. Every profession, from ICT to sustainable, to facility management. So you find out that you have different environmentalists, professionals involved at the design stage. So when it comes to design, to enhance green energy, because if you are producing a lot of green energy, but the heat load is still too much, or the waste, then it's not a green building. You are not contributing to a green building, and then all the green energy you are providing, the load will be too much for what is being supplied. So the design of the building, the construction system, using lean construction system, also aids the green energy to function very well. So there are so many components involved in green energy that from whichever angle you are comfortable in, whether it's from the engineering, from the design, or for the physics, even chemistry department, the chemical properties, the glass itself, changing the properties. There are various components, various professionals involved, even at the chemical level, the chemical composition. So it depends on your own flair, and your strength will determine where you want to key into solar energy. Thank you, or green energy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that comment. We really appreciate it. At this point, I would just like to share this video on an example of what I would say is green technology that has a flair for the use of glass in terms of the solar panels. And surprisingly, we are using green energy to support a fossil fuel-based business. So this is a company called Petrocam. Here they are opening their 7th filling station that is fully solar powered. I have actually gone to one of these stations myself to investigate it, and I will tell you that it's no joke. This is actually happening. So I'll just play the video so that you can see for yourself, and maybe when you do have time, you can either go to this petrol station to look at it, any of them, or you can also prefer this solution to other petrol stations and other institutions, because if solar panels can actually power a petrol station, they can also power a home, a hospital, or any other facility. So please just take a few minutes to look at this 1-minute video. Okay, so I think we all saw that video, and it must have definitely made an impression on your mind. From that video, you could see that they were able to.
Nigerian entrepreneur Mustafa
They were able
has
to.
been converting minibuses into electric
Sorry,
vehicles and
let me just put off this.
He was a mechanical engineering.
Yeah, they were able to convert solar energy into power, and also able to avert a lot of carbon emissions into the environment. This is exactly what we're trying to capture here. You know, for whoever it is to have the capacity to continue to you know, bring out innovative solutions to what we're talking about. And I think this will really serve us well when we are looking at you know, the opportunities for the future. So I would say at this point, we should also now go into the next aspect of our event today, which will be you know, sharing of the experiences and understanding from the participants. You may want to speak, or you will want to say something in the chat box. So I will leave the floor open for anybody who wants to make any kind of contribution. Thank you.
Sorry, Dale, look, I wanted to ask, can I show that video now?
Yeah, you can show the video now. Sorry about that.
Okay.
I forgot to circle back to you. You can show the video.
No problem. I want to show it from I'll use my phone so that okay, I'm coming up with it now.
And if anybody has any comments,
so
they can put it in the chat box while we wait for the video to show.
Oh.
Thank you. Go ahead, Dr. Moses.
Yeah, I tried to.
Or maybe you can send me the link and I can share it on my own side.
Okay, I was almost okay, because okay, maybe I'll just send it to you. It's actually a video. Yes, I'll just send it to you. So
okay, so
I was trying to pick it from my phone. Okay.
So we will look at that video shortly. And at this point, are there any comments or questions from the participants or anything you would like to share?
Plus video.
So, Mr. Olamide, do you have any comments from what we have discussed? Since your presentation was the first, maybe there are some things that you want to add.
Nothing really from my side. I was only waiting for questions.
So if there are no comments, I think we're drawing to the close of the event. I want to thank all the speakers and everyone that has made time out to attend this event. I would like to have the Dean of Environmental Sciences, Professor Mrs. Modupe Omiri, to say a few words, a closing remarks, and also if we have Mr. Adebayo Okwobi also to say a few words while we bring this event to a close. So over to you, Ma and Sir. Professor Omiri and Mr. Okwobi, are you online? Okay, can we hear from the two people who I've mentioned? Okay, Dr.
maybe they're
Moses.
not online.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dr. Moses, do you have your video ready?
Yes, I've actually sent it to your WhatsApp. It's still going. So I'm actually thinking of maybe trying it again from my because
okay, let's
going
try
on
it
my
one more time from your side. But if it doesn't go,
yes.
then I think we will just
can
bring
send
the event to a close. Does anybody have any
Yes.
comments or questions while we wait for this, the last video presentation?
Recording in progress.
So Moses, please. Dr. Moses. Hello.
I've gone off the phone now. That's why it was echoing. So I want to try from my laptop again because
okay,
I tried to pick it from
I think you're on now. So if you try it one more time.
Yes, let's see whether sorry, it's not. Let me see. Okay. I'm trying to pick the file. It's I don't seem to. I don't think it's coming. I'm sharing.
Dr. Moses, I think we have the same problem like we had before. It doesn't seem to.
You can't see it.
We can see it, but there's no audio. So what I would do, I will send this video to everyone who has registered so that they can look at it. So
okay, the video is actually with you now. The video is at your WhatsApp, so you can send it.
Yeah, so we can send it to all the participants. So we can stop sharing the screen. So I want to thank everybody for making out time to attend this event. And I believe that we really touched on a lot of areas of importance. It is my hope that we shall continue to have these deliberations and have future collaborations with everybody who is interested in working in glass or finding innovative solutions through glass for energy storage, green tech, and for smart glass. While I'm recognizing the presence of all the other speakers and presenters and our guests, I'd like Dr. Adio Moses to give us some closing remarks. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Adeolu Okulaja. I'm honored to have been part of this presentation. Going forward, we would like to encourage everyone. The fact that you've even joined this program means that you have an interest in glass and in green energy. So please stay connected. Other developments will be coming up. We are looking at not just application of green energy through glass for buildings, for transportation. You know, the list is wide. So the most important thing is to keep the conversation going, and we are keen on collaboration. We are keen on collaboration. We want to take the use of glass to the next level in Nigeria, have the first green smart building in Nigeria. That's our goal. So from now on, the clock is ticking, and by the grace of God, we will achieve that soon. A building that generates its own electricity, you can actually calculate the amount of electricity the building is generating and so on. And from there on, we can move forward in terms of sustainable, efficient, economic development and strategic innovation in Nigeria. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. So if we may, if you can unmute, if you can put on our videos so that we can take a group picture, online group picture. I think that would be fantastic. You know, everybody that is here should be able to unmute or unmask their videos so that we can take a group picture. It's been a pleasure hosting the event, and I know that we shall definitely host a lot more events in the near future. Oh, I haven't even on I haven't stopped. Okay. So thank you so much, Emma. Thank you, Olamide. Thank you, Dr. Moses. Thank you to the Dean of Environmental Sciences. Thank you to all the participants for your time and tuning in. I hope that this would be one of the more interesting aspects of your day-to-day. And I hope also that we shall continue to find ways of connecting. The fact of the matter is that we have a lot of possibilities ahead of us. It is really up to us to find those possibilities and to make sure that we make the best of it. The future will definitely favor the brave, and we are in this field that is relatively new, or maybe not as explored as it should be in the country. So I want to continue to implore all of us to put all power to the pump, and definitely we'll continue to make the great strides that we want, and to excel in our fields. So thank you very much. Thank you for a great session. It's been quite a few hours now. We started at 10 and we're ending at maybe about 12:15. So thank you, everyone. And we'll see you next in the next International Year of Glass Unlimited event. Thank you so much. I'll see you all later. Bye.
Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. God bless you.
Yes, God bless you all.